Let me tell you something. Do you know what I really like? I really like sitting outside on my patio, enjoying nice weather and a nice cold drink during summer. But do you know what I don't like? I don't like staring at an empty space on the other side. Have a look at this. I mean, who wants to stare at this? Apart from the fact that the grass is really feeling sorry for itself at the moment because we do have a hosepipe ban, there's nothing here, it's just a shed. We need to change this. We need to pretty this space up with some really simple flower beds. And to tell you the truth, I was going to position this video quite differently. I was going to do an affordable flower bed for under something reasonable. However, as you probably know if you live in the UK at the moment, nothing is cheap at all. And actually the flower beds, they came out to be quite expensive. Well, I'll leave you to judge that because it totally depends on the final outcome, right? So I'll let you know at the end how much it cost me and you tell me if you find that reasonable or not.
You might be wondering what happened to the child's bedroom I've been working on. Don't worry, I will return to that build in a few videos. Given the good weather, I decided to upgrade my garden as it is a little bit of an eyesore at the moment.
Let me show you what is it that I'm going to try and do. We're going to try and do two flower beds, one in the middle of this fence and one larger one in the middle of the fence over here. Let's move everything we need into the space where we are going to be working and then get started.
With everything now in place, I'm measuring the space to work out the center of my small flower bed. I then use some wooden stakes to more or less mark the perimeter, and then I grab my shovel to remove the grass, before I loosen the soil using my fork.
I've created a little space for the small flower bed, and the next step for me is to install this trellis onto the fence behind. And the way I'm gonna do that is by using this flexible metal strip, because I can't think of any other way, and then a few self-tapping screws. So let's give that a go and hopefully it stays in place.
I'm fixing the trellis in place using a couple of clamps, and before driving the screws I realized that
actually I don't think the metal strip idea is gonna work because this is too thin and I think my tiny screws still, they're quite small, but I think they're still going to go through. So the way I'm gonna do it instead is to drive it through the trellis and pray for the best really. I hope it works, so let's give that a go. Yes, first attempt semi-successful, did go through, but I did split the wood a little bit. These are self-tappers, they're not supposed to do that, but still, I'll try to be more gentle. Maybe over on this side.
And yes, I know I could drill the holes and avoid splitting the wood, but actually I think the main problem is the big heads on my screws. I was too lazy to go buy other screws, so I decided to go ahead anyway and hope for the best.
It holds really well, to be fair, really well. All good, I think. A little bit ugly because I split a couple of wood pieces, but holds really well. Gonna look fine. Job done.
Next step, fence. I picked up this wooden rustic fence from my local garden center. Remember, these flower beds are supposed to be simple. After removing a little more soil, I'm using my big strong hammer to drive the fence into the ground. The fence is quite thick, so not the easiest task in the world, but eventually it's deep enough and I use some soil to backfill any spaces around the fence before making the soil solid with my tamper. I'm then soaking the plants and leave them there for 20 minutes while digging a deeper hole I need to plant them.
We've done the trellis, we've done the hedging. We have left the plants to soak in water just a few more minutes, and I've dug the hole for the plants. Have a look at this. Now over here is about half the soil that I've taken out of there. What I'm gonna do is mix it up with compost at 50-50 ratio, and then I'm gonna use that to plant these plants over there. Let's make a start with the one in the center. I do not want to sit this plant too low. It needs to be about level with the soil, and that's about right. A little bit higher is fine, lower is not good. So I think I'm just fine over here. Let's take it out of this container. Ooh, scary. There we go. That's out. As you can see, all the roots just going round and round and round. We don't want that, so we need to undo them a little bit. See the roots now? Now they're gonna grow in all the right directions as opposed to going round and round.
After freeing up the roots, I'm now using the mixture of compost and soil to plant these plants at the right height. I am a little bit worried at this stage that I might have overdone it with the roots, but I haven't done this before, and at the end of the day, the worst case scenario is that I will have to do it again next year, having learned a lesson. If you have any advice for me, I would appreciate if you leave it in the comments below. With the plants now well in the soil, it was time to... That makes me want to pee. The small flower bed is now awaiting a couple of finishing touches, but it's time to switch my attention to the big flower bed. The process is very similar, but as you will see, not quite the same. First, I mark the perimeter with my stakes and take out the grass. Then, while looking as cool as a teenager, I fix the trellis in place and start digging holes for the plants. However, the soil was extremely dry, as this side is more exposed to the sun, and I couldn't make a dent using my shovel or my fork even after watering. And that's why I'm doing something a little unorthodox. I'm using my hammer drill as a demolition hammer to loosen up the soil. There were no stones or anything strange underneath, just incredibly dry and compact soil. Mind you, this took about an hour to complete, even with the hammer drill, and it was so hot I had no energy to speak to the camera, but eventually I had my holes. I'm now once again using a mixture of compost and soil to do the planting after loosening the roots before I installed the fence. And then it was time for
Finishing touches.
finishing touch number 1, tree bark. Tree bark is amazing. It retains a lot of water, suppresses weed and protects the roots from rapid temperature swings while looking beautiful and natural. Finishing touch number 2, lights, because I want to see my plants at night. And with these two done, my flower beds are now ready.
A new beautiful day has started here in England, and let me show you this because this is just absolutely amazing. Just have a look. Oh, look at how beautiful everything looks under the sunlight. Beautiful new flower beds really help shape the garden and give it a 3D feel, some depth, some color. So much nicer sitting here on my patio enjoying a little bit of a view. But look at this on a beautiful day like today. Fresh laundry here, smelling fantastic as well. Oh, I love this. This is why I built this patio in the first place.
It is quite amazing to think that this space used to look like this just 14 months ago.
So let's have a little talk about the cost. All of this, and I mean everything from compost to tree bark, to plants, to the lights, to the trellis, to the fencing, all of this included, £354 and 15 cents, which I feel it's quite a lot for what are probably the simplest flower beds you can have. However, that said, that does include a couple of plants I've put in front of the house. I'm gonna include the picture of those now so you can see. And it does also include some tree bark that I've over-ordered. Those removed, I think we're talking maybe 310, 320 pounds all in all for the two tree beds I've made in the garden, which I still feel you can't really call that cheap. I don't think it's super expensive, but I don't think I can call that cheap either. However, it took me less than a day to do. £300 for something that will hopefully last years. Of course, it'll need maintenance every year, but still, this will remain here for years, making the garden look absolutely fantastic. So what do you think? Do let me know in the comments below. I do still think we miss a couple of things. I think a tree here and there would be really nice to have. And on that note, if you like this video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you the next time. Take care.